those prayers unanswered. You're fooling yourself.
God, a myth for the weak. Look at the world. Chaos, suffering. Where's your savior now?
What kind of man are you? Always second guessing, never decisive. Real men lead, you follow. You falter, pathetic. Choices define you.
She deserves better. Your love is weak, unreliable.
How long would you see he's a fraud? You're an apple rock. You're crumbly sand.
Daddy, you're supposed to protect, teach, inspire. But look, failures pile up. What legacy are you leaving?
The battle within never ends. Fight me if you can.
I listen to everybody else's perspective. As I try to give mine, I get pushback, cut off, pushback, cut off, pushback, cut off. So I'm just trying to wait so I can at least get my full thought out so that you can at least understand where I'm coming from. But I understand, I get it. It's so different from what other people feel is right that they can't help but to jump up and say, no, you're wrong. Modern woman, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. But I just want to give my perspective. Like I let everybody give their perspective. I'm waiting patiently. I'm being quiet. Even when they jump in on me, the first few, I'm patient. But it's five at a time. It's nonstop. So it's like, okay, now I'm getting irritated. Then
I think that for me, like growing up and being in certain environments, and I'm very observant when I go out and how I am around people. And what I've seen, that has happened to me, how people backstab people very quickly and how girls turn on girls and how guys be messing with their homeboys chicks. And I just don't think like everybody wants to call everybody their friend. Well, that's cool. They can do that, but I don't do that. I think that calling someone your friend or your family, I take very highly of that. So just because you have conversations online with somebody, okay, you want to think that's your friend, cool, right? But me, I don't treat it like that because I feel like trust has to be earned with me. So when trust is earned during a certain time period, then you might, get up to that extra level, then you might become a friend.
I think pretty much just like LA, except, minus the beaches for the most part. And I had a culture shock when I moved out here though. All these black people, I'm like, okay, it's a bunch of black people here, but I don't see a bunch of anybody else here like how I see in LA. So that was a culture shock for me, most definitely. In the club scene out here is way better, in my opinion, just because they stay open later.
How late?
Well, back in the 90s, in the 1900s, as my kids would say.
Oh, they're wrong for that one.
Yeah. But back in the 90s, the clubs would close in LA at like around maybe 2, maybe 3 o'clock, if I remember correctly. I think it was 3 o'clock. It definitely wasn't no 4 o'clock.
So around that time, a lot of us would go over to the manosphere spaces or whatever. And what a lot of us started noticing, or at least this is what I noticed individually, and I didn't find out till later that a lot of guys had that same concern, which was whenever we brought up topics that were more specific to Black men's experiences, you know, it was kind of like they didn't want to touch on those topics. They wanted to keep the topics more general, just about men in general. But the problem was there were certain issues that were more specific to Black men that we wanted to address. So when I started, you know, putting out my content, there were other guys that came along, and this is after what we call like 1.0. Like those brothers that I just named, like Thug Titian and all of them, they don't call themselves Black Manosphere, but
right,
that came after them, me and a few other guys, I started calling it Black Manosphere to kind of separate and differentiate ourselves from the other group. And so because we wanted to pay homage to the dudes that came before us, we started calling it 2.0. So 1.0, even though that's an unofficial name, it was meant to basically pay homage to the dudes that came before us. But when 2.0 came in, we kind of took things, you know, to another level. We kind of took things to another level with a lot of guys having a great deal of success. You know what I'm saying? Some of the names like Kevin Samuels, you know, there's a few guys. I won't mention everybody, but there are even guys that are not technically what you would call Black Manosphere, but they kind of fall under the same umbrella because people forcibly put them under that umbrella, even though they don't really identify as that. You feel what I'm saying? Right.
I'm writing my list now, right now.
All right, Ben.
It just comes so easily.
Say what?
I'm writing my list down right now.
Oh, for the title?
So easily, it's like flowing. No, when I look at your head, it's just coming to me.
What would that be? What?
It's coming to me.
I'm ignoring you. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the BTSI show. I'm not about to play with Harriet this fine Tuesday afternoon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to you guys who's watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and I got my Clubhouse family here as well. So let's go ahead. Housekeeping. You want more content like this? Subscribe and share. Follow me and I see you. I'm about to pull you up. Follow me on all social. Links are located in the description. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Ladies and gentlemen, the last time I checked, we are 8 subscribers away, so we can finally do this Cash App giveaway episode. 8 more subscribers, and we can finally give out some money. There's going to be 3 runner-ups and a grand prize winner. Every 500, I give out. Every 500 subscribers, I give out money. So we're almost there. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get some money. If I recall, third and second place runner-up is getting 25. First runner-up is getting 50, and grand prize is getting $100. Cash App to you from yours truly. So, like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. Now, those who are watching me on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, I want to let you guys know the topic we are doing today is a Clubhouse topic. Meaning, I usually don't do this Clubhouse things on YouTube, but I'll make an exception today since I'm off of work. Took my son to the doctor's appointment, to the specialist today, so I decided to call it today. So we just since I'm home, let's go ahead and make it a family affair. So want to take a moment. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning into my last stream. That was out the blue, me reacting to Bad Bunny Super Bowl. We're actually going to get into all of that. And I just realized that I forgot to do some important uploads. So let me see if I can get that done. Time to do it. So, but while I'm getting this situated, ladies and gentlemen, where we at? And I think that's it. Oh, that was it. This is a part two from Thursday. Thursday, we found out about the idea of when it comes to those who pay 100% the bills, they get dogged out the most by as far as being cheated on. We was able to go through that. We was able to provide stats and links to either prove or disprove that. Those who are watching me visually, the links are is in the description. You can go listen to the audio room that we did on Thursday. This is part two of it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Are my pictures ready? Where my pictures at? All right. There they go. Let's go ahead and get started. Where's my banner? Well, before we get to the show, let's do some quick hits, shall we? Now, for my clubhouse room, this is quick hits. We do 3 topics and we keep it moving. Then we get to the main topic. The things that I don't care to talk about on Clubhouse, I can quickly address it on YouTube and keep it pushing. Like, for example, shout out to the Seattle Seahawks for winning another Super Bowl. Let me put myself right here. There we go. Yep, Seattle Seahawks beat the Patriots 19-13. And don't ask me who won MVP because I could promise you I wasn't checking for it. All I know is this was a defensive Super Bowl. It wouldn't surprise me if the running back from Seattle won the MVP. So shout out to Seattle. I actually had them winning 36-18. 19-13 is fine. I'm not tripping. But that wasn't my highlight because I knew that's what the score was going to be. Well, the outcome's going to be. My highlight is this. It is actually Benito, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Bad Bunny. Let me move my QR code real quick. Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show is the most watched of all time. No surprise here, with over 135 million viewers. And also, how much is it on? How many views did it get on NFL YouTube page? The only reason I'm asking because when I looked at it 10 minutes in, it already had 100,000 views. Right now, one day later, we're sitting at 56 million. No surprise here. So with that, shout out to Benito. Shout out to the people who were big mad at the idea of watching halftime show with no subtitles. No complaints here. I'm all for it. I understood what he was referencing, how he was calling out the Puerto Rican government, how he was holding America's foot to the fire regarding resources that's being outsourced to the U.S. All for it, no problem. Shout out to Benito. That's the first one. The second one, bad enough you lost the Super Bowl, but you lost your girl. Ladies and gentlemen, and during the halftime, Cardi B and Stephon Diggs broke up, and could have been his. It could have been a multitude of things. It could have been the fact that you didn't do a good job during the football game, Stephon Diggs. Granted, your quarterback was absolute garbage. Could it have been that you invited all your baby mothers to the Super Bowl? Who knows what it could have been? All I know is if you look at the screen right now, you can see that she's not following him and he's not following her. All right, man. Shit happens. Shit happens. Other than that, shout out to the real winner, which is Offset. And lastly, this shit happens. Not that goofy nigga. I gotta delete that shit. Yeah, this took place Ja Rule got into it with Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder on the plane. Y'all already seen the clips. I'm just trying to figure out how was you guys able to book a flight and Ja Rule was on the same flight. I never understood that. I think that was done on purpose. Whoever did that is an asshole. But they got into it, and Ja Rule's response was, I popped out on these punks by myself on a plane. Pussy ass niggas threw a pillow. Yayo's, because he's soft, knocked his hat off. It was hilarious. You can say that. You can say that. But let's see. Do we have the video? Oh, yeah, here we go.
Let's shake. Let's shake. Let's shake.
Yeah, for those, yeah, that was the aftermath. They got into a altercation on a plane. So, Ja Rule, I don't know how you got kicked off a plane for a seat that you paid for. Allegedly, Ja Rule started the altercation just so he can get another seat or another plane because Ja Rule was by himself. Yayo and Uncle Murder were not by themselves. So that was a lose-lose situation. But hey, shout out to, speaking of New York, what up, Ari? Shout out to the New Yorkers being New Yorkers.
Hey.
What up, Ari? Want to get no federal offense for fighting on a plane. We were just talking about how it was Ja Rule versus Yayo and Uncle Murder.
Didn't give a flying fuck. He was ready for them niggas. He was with the shit.
All them cameras around. You better be with the shits.
You know what it is, too? It's like, you've been talking all this shit to me online. Y'all ruined my whole career off of a lie. And now I finally see y'all. I think that's why he was so mad like that. Anybody would be mad in that, like, space. Because they always be fucking with him. Yeah, fuck that. They always be fucking with him. I don't give a fuck about Ja Rule.
You said nobody cares about Ja?
Who gives a fuck about Ja Rule, man? Fuck Ja Rule.
Hey, man. Dude, like I tell people, that's just one beef.
Singing ass nigga. Fuck Ja Rule. But that's crazy that y'all be calling him a singing ass nigga when 50 Cent jacked his whole shit after he got put out where he was. Did and did it better. Please, I don't know about better, but okay.
Hey, that's just one beef. I tell people to stay out of it. It's just never going to happen. You see some people squash the beef after how many years or whatever. I get it. This ain't one of them.
They got beef forever. Yo,
They're gonna be in a nursing. They're gonna be in a nursing home still beefing with one another. I promise you.
Chris, I got a question because I feel like this got stepped on. Are we not gonna acknowledge that Bad Bunny had the men them grinding on each other?
Yes, I did.
We're not gonna acknowledge that. Like, I didn't see it, but everybody keeps saying
I saw it. Well, when I was reacting to it on YouTube, I saw it because I knew he was going to. That was going to get implemented. I already knew that. It's Bad Bunny, so I expect it to pop up on the screen one time. I thought it was gonna be a lot more, to be honest. Nah. Just keep it subtle and keep it pushing. Just like what they do in Marvel. When anytime Marvel does that LGBT scenes.
Oh yeah, they just kind of keep it moving.
Yeah. There's not.
Fuck is he though? Like, I don't really know his orientation. He was dating Kendall Jenner. He be having women, but then he look a little. So I don't know. That's why I was kind of like, are we gonna see this? Aren't we? Then they were saying at the last minute that he was possibly gonna be wearing a dress. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he just he's being inclusive. I don't think he is. Or if it comes out that he's bi or something like that, I'm not gonna be surprised. I just think he's just trying to let it be known that my fan base is for everybody, so everybody's included.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's because I saw him when he wore that long ass dress to the gala. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I
I
saw
don't know
him
if
when
it's a
he,
long ass dress to the gala, but the other day at the Grammys, the outfit he had on was fucking fire, bro. That jacket was everything, and most men cannot pull that off. So that to me was
I didn't see it.
fire, bro. It was mad nice.
Oh,
It was like a corset on the back of his jacket. It was really.
You know what I say about men that claim to be bi, Chris?
yep.
You know what my claim is?
Yeah.
Say bye to women. Say bye to women. Say bye to women.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But 137 million views, 58 million on NFL's YouTube page. I knew this was going to be the most watched Super Bowl, and I give it another year. It's probably going to surpass J Lo and Shakira's number count. It's going to be 300 million, if not two,
For me, I
next
think
year.
he did a good job though. Like I couldn't really understand because I don't speak Spanish, but I did enjoy the performance in real time. I think it was like a high energy performance. To me, I'm just gonna say I feel like that performance was better than Kendrick, in my opinion. I feel like Kendrick's performance had like a lot of symbolism that I liked, but the performance itself was not high energy for me for a Super Bowl halftime show. Where this was high energy, a lot of, loudness and tricks and people flipping. And that's what you want to see from a Super Bowl halftime show, in my opinion. You know, but when they broke down the symbolism that was in his performance and what he was trying to do, that's when I really loved it even more because now I more understand what he was saying when they translated it. Like it was really a dope performance, bro. When they broke it down, I'm not gonna lie. Like he really was fighting for his country, pretty much. I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, he kept it real Puerto Rico, so I had zero problems with it. I know people was angry. The racists came out the next day.
Which was crazy because a lot of them don't even know what the fuck he was saying because they don't speak Spanish. So I don't understand.
I was like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, if you're mad about what he's saying now, wait till it gets translated. And you really gonna be pissed off.
It was really good. I like that he highlighted New York and all the small business people. I like the fact that he was like highlighted that lady that owns the only Caribbean social club in Brooklyn that's predominantly Puerto Rican. He
Oh,
put her address on the big screen. That was dope. I like that he highlighted the power lines and the power grid problem that America's given them. I like that he brought out that the old flag of theirs and not the new flag because I had no idea that when they joined the United States, they made them change their flag. I did not know that. I
I
knew
didn't know
all
that
that from
neither.
now. Yeah, if you look at the performance, he's holding a flag, but it don't necessarily look like a Puerto Rican flag. I was wondering when I was looking at it, what flag is that? That is the original flag. What they did was the flag that he was holding has light blue, but the flag that is currently there has dark blue. And the reason why they made them change it to navy blue is so that it can match the navy blue in the American flag. So they made them change it. They're saying that they want sovereignty, and they're saying that Hawaii is now asking for that because they feel like the United States ruins every country, every country, every state that it brings on. They're paying taxes and they're getting treated like second class citizens in Puerto Rico. They're not helping them with the power grid. They're trying to gentrify them, take all their resources. I went to go look it up. I did not know that Puerto Rico is predominantly like one of those resource giants for copper and steel. I did not know that. I did not know that they have large ass pharmaceutical companies that the United States is trying to control. Because I was wondering what would be the United States like? Why are they like? What are they taking from them? When you look it up, there's a series of stuff that they are definitely taking from them. The United States is disgusting. Like seriously.
It is, but they're staying on cold because when has this not been America?
Very true.
When have we not pillaged or stolen? Excuse me, stolen resources from other countries just to bring it here?
It was what I liked about the performance too. I like how when it came on, they was in the sugarcane field because for some reason these FBA people on here act like they was the only ones who went through slavery, which we know is not true. A lot of different countries and fucking people went through slavery. So as we know now, Puerto Ricans went through slavery in sugarcane plantations. So you can see for yourself. That was really dope too about the performance.
Right. I have zero problem. Bad Bunny's performance did not bother me at all. Three. Why'd you put this old ass grandmother in my chat? Yeah, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to think about what you did, sir. But
She need to clean up.
yeah, she needs to put some clothes on too. Come on, Granny. God damn it.
60 years old out here trying to show some ass and lift some shit. Somebody said she gave us 2 cents of nonsense.
You insane, man. Insane.
Chris, I guess it's fair to say the need for validation they never grow out of. Huh?
What's up?
The need for validation they never grow out of. No, it ain't. I don't even think it's that, bro. I think it's that on some real shit, bro. This social media shit did a bigger number on people that's 30 and up than it did the actual people that grew up in this shit and that's younger, bro. They to me they worse with it than the younger kids, man. But
That's a topic worth exploring down the road. I'm gonna put that.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Put that in your nose.
put that on my to-do list. But ladies and gentlemen,
We talking about Bad Bunny, or are we talking about the?
oh, we're about to get to the title now. But ladies and gentlemen, that was Quick Hits. This is the BTSI show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Please, those who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, like, share, subscribe. And shout out to the replay gang on Clubhouse. Share this to a friend or two. Let's get, excuse me, let's get started. Let me put myself back in the center. There we go. Men pay all the bills. Bad investment for women? Maybe. We had a conversation last week, Thursday, about 100% of providers get cheated on the most. That was last week, Thursday's conversation. Well, Ephraim was there as well. I think I don't remember Grizz popped into that conversation, but people believe if you get cheated on the most, you pay 100% of the bills, you get down the most. We already did the studies. If you pay at least 70% of the bills, there's a possibility you will get cheated on. Men who pay all the bills, women cheat 5% more. Women who pay all the bills, men cheat 15% more. But the commonality is going to always come down to lack of trust in a relationship. There's always going to be some internal conflict of why you cheat. It has nothing to do with who pays the most bill. It has everything to do with you as an individual. What is going on with you that makes you think it is okay to cheat, whether this person chips in a little bit or a whole lot? Doesn't make a damn difference. So this is what this room is. Shout out to Content. He's the one that inspired this room, now that I think about it. Because Thursday was gender neutral. This one's a little bit gender specific. But I need to make it gender neutral. We'll see. Harriet, who was in here, because she kind of chimed in on this, and she actually gave me the key, better key for this conversation. She was in a situation where a man was expecting a lot out of her. To this is what you need to do in a relationship. She was down with it. The problem is that shit was not reciprocated. And his take was, I pay all the bills. I pay all of this. I don't have to deal with none of that shit you're talking about. So now we gotta ask. If the man is paying 100% of the bills, do women find that to be a good investment or a bad investment? Because the pro to this is you ain't gotta reach in your pockets to take care of the house. Where the bad news is, he believes, especially this example that Harriet gave, he believes that if I pay all the bills, you really don't have. This is a one-sided relationship. I have a position for you to play. You will play it, and that is it. As long as I'm paying all the bills. So now we got to ask to the women: is paying 100% Is dealing with men who pay all the bills, is that a bad investment? What about the guys that you dogged out or talked down for who said they want to chime in half? Who want to chip in and do 50-50? Because at least you have one hand on the wheel. Whereas if you have no hands on the wheel, you don't have a say so in the matter. So which one is a good investment? Which one is a bad investment? Is the question that I want to have today. Do you guys still think 100% of the bill needs to be paid? Or is women willing to actually do this 50-50 thing to not be put in a compromised position, depending on who they select as a significant other? To the audience on stage, the floor is yours. What do you think about that?
I think it's an amazing investment for the guy, especially if he's not married and he's paying for everything. Because he can just walk away.
My bad, I had to turn off my AC because I was kind of loud on my end. Afro, you said it was a good investment for the guy?
Yeah, because he can just walk away if he don't like the situation no more. Because he was paying 100%, but that's good to him. Especially if he's not married.
Okay. We can agree that that's good for him because he's using leverage over her head. Now, what about the women? How do they get um how can this be an equal moment or equal benefit for them?
How can it be equal if it's 100-0?
Say that again.
How can it be equal if it's 100-0? It's not. So since it's not, since it's 100-0, it's not equal. And if it's 100-0, the person put in 100 can easily just walk away and then retire.
Zoe, okay, hold on real quick. Zoe, you had something you wanted to chime in?
Yeah, I think how it's. Are we talking about bad investment for women, or I could just speak on it?
You can speak on however you
Yeah.
see the topic, the title.
I
You can
think
speak on
him
how.
paying all the bills. Yeah, him paying all the bills is fine. No woman should move in with a man unless he puts you on the deed of the property you're staying in. If you're not on the deed, at any moment he could pull the rug. But if you with your name on the deed, you get equity. Um, he's doing pretty much a lot of the investing. But since you're on the deed, when y'all sell the house, it's split up. So if a woman plays it like that, you move into what he bought, and he puts your name on the deed, and then y'all split down the middle because if shit goes left. Yeah, I don't want to move in with no man, period. Until because I lived with a man already when we was engaged, and then we didn't end up getting married. So I don't want to move in with no man in no house of his own. Like when we moved, me and my child father, we got where I lived now. The condo that I live in now was owned by both of us previously. So I think that's fair. I think you should move into a new place with the person and both of y'all names be on everything. I don't want to live nowhere where you was fucking a bitch on the mattress I'm not laying on. I don't want for me to be going to the shower and I'm feeling like you fuck some next bitch in here. I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry. If that make me bougie or difficult, then so be it. I don't want to be nowhere no next bitch was. Can we get a new place? The fuck? I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry.
When you pay 100%, Chris, it's easy to walk away, right? So I think men should totally pay 100%.
Yeah, and women should only move in if he puts your name on it. Also, just like his name is on it. Yep.
No, but she's not paying anything, so her name can't be on it. That's the whole point.
No, you could add people's name.
No, he shouldn't do that.
But he can, and she should only move in if he adds you on whatever paperwork. Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, so now if we show each side that y'all stand on, it's like it's all that is conversations with any type of aggression, right? I don't think me paying all the bills means that I would do that just so I can walk away from it. Look, I mean, y'all son shit at this point. What's the point of the relationship around this motherfucker? Do I think that you should just move in? A woman should move in with a man? Yeah, I don't see the worst thing about that. that's not a recurring thing that men just dump women and put them out their house. That's vice versa. Like, let's not project on that aspect, right? Like, we have to be honest. Usually, men who move in with women get treated a certain way because ultimately, naturally, women don't feel like they should be taking care of men or they shouldn't shoulder the load. We get it, and that's cool. That's how it is, right? But to say, oh, man, he can put you like that, that's not going to happen. Do I think that you as a man can just walk away because you're paying 100%? Like, why would I want to be paying 100% investing out my money then just walk away and my shit go down the drain? Like, that just makes no sense. I don't think I don't think that it is or it ain't on the investment aspect of it. Like, that's a bad investment. And I mean, it's according to who you're dealing with, right? Like nobody. It seems like, as you can see in the argument, the debate already, nobody really wants to give up or relinquish any power to anybody. It's an automatic. It's an automatic the first aspect of it. Thinking of it is to be like, oh no, I want to protect my ass. I want not even protect my ass because that's not the word. It's like I'm preparing for it to end. Like, man, y'all, that shit sound like we are wasting our time. It sounds like a bad investment, period. Like, it's a pointless investment. I think a lot of times when we talk about who gets cheated on and relinquished, if a woman paying most of the bills, like bro said, 70% of the bills, she ends up getting cheated on because probably she's taking care of a man that ain't got shit going and she paying all the bills, most of the bills. That means he got more time on his hands to do stupid shit. And if a man's paying all the bills and a woman cheating on you, that's probably because he probably in his mind he thinks that he can really he needs to do everything possible to make this woman happy. Women ultimately don't ever respect that shit. So that shit always works against you as a man. It's just I don't know though. Y'all got wild ways to get relationships.
Grizz, when you buy a plot of land and build a home, are you the only one going to be living in it by yourself?
If I buy a plot of land and a home, am I moving? I don't know if I'm moving in it by myself. I mean, I don't know.
Most of the time, men are trying to put people that they're going to live with somebody in that home. So this is how it should be. You move into the home of the man. That's it, and that's your woman. That's all she is to you. Your woman is your house. You know, and that's it. It's your house. So even if she died, you should be able to take care of all the bills up in your home.
Yeah, I'm not debating that. What's the conversation? Man, we kind of far gone. It's kind of.
We're right on the money. We right on the money.
I think y'all took it and y'all went totally opposite directions of what we was talking about. But I don't think that you should not push your woman on it. But how you sounded, it was like, oh yeah, you should put it. You kind of almost sound like you're trying to get over in the situation. And it's cool. I believe in. I mean, when I buy a crib, because I'm not big on buying a crib. I stay in a house. I own other stuff, right? And I rent my shit out. I pay for mine, but rent for mine, but whatever. But my woman, of course, she goes on it. This is a team effort with me and her. Of course, we're gonna do it like this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not promoting some man to meet a woman and me to just move her in and put her on this shit. Like, nah, I don't promote men and women to do stupid shit that's gonna get them in a jail.
The government pays attention. That's why we have common law marriages. Regardless of y'all wanting to be married or not, the government is gonna literally see y'all as married if she's been living in your home. So she's gonna have legal rights because she's been with you in that home for maybe 10 years, 8 years. Now you guys are common law. So y'all gotta be watching out for that.
How many states do common law? Because I'm under the impression it was 8.
I'm in Florida, and I know a common law.
Texas does it too.
And then they got really married.
I think 10 years is crazy. Man.
10 years. 10 years for what?
Chris? Hello.
She was saying being 10 somebody and they not married.
Oh no, 6 months. It's 6 months. Well, at least in Texas, it's 6 months.
Chris, remember my model. Let the man pay for everything. If she wants to renegotiate that, she's free to. But he's paying for everything. If it doesn't go the way he likes, he can just walk away. No harm, no foul.
Crazy.
Well,
that's a good investment right there.
And a heads up, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, Texas, DC. States with limited or past recognition: New Hampshire, South Carolina, Utah. Grandfather states: Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and that is it. Those are the only states that are common law to some.
You said Florida?
Florida's not on the list.
I think Texas actually got rid of that 6 month shit. They just made it simply. Um, I think it's like 3 or 4 conditions, 2 of which you have to either refer to each other as husband and wife or tell people that you're intended to be married. Um, and you have to live together. I'm not sure what the other 2 are, but I think Texas actually got rid of that 6 month shit.
I'll look more into that.
Christopher, what do you think of my model? What do you think of?
Pretty much a renewal.
No. I'm saying that he pays for everything, and he can walk away. Now she wants to renegotiate and take it from 100 to 0. That's okay, but if it's 100 to 0, then he gets to walk away.
Well, with that model, from he has all leverage, regardless. Because you say if you want a renewal, the renewal is what? She pays 100 and he pays 0.
No, I mean that's not. I mean, I'm saying you can renegotiate, and it doesn't have to be to the other extreme. But if it's as long as it's in one extreme the other way, then the person that's taking on all the risk, he gets to walk away at any time. That seems reasonable.
Well, yeah, regarding renegotiate or not, he can walk away anyway, and he don't even have to negotiate. He could just say, "Okay, I'm tired of this. I'm out." With however long that determine that relationship is.
It's 2026, right? I think people should just do what works for them. um, I say it all the time. The longest relationship I can think of is my godfather's relationship. It is actually probably the standard at which I kind of set relationships at this point in time, because they're not married in a traditional sense. Like, they did a little ceremony, which it was 20 people from her side, 20 people from his side. And they made their little vows to each other in front of family and friends, but they never did a traditional marriage. Like, they committed to each other in front of family and friends. And them niggas been together since I was a baby, since before I was born, actually. But that ceremony happened when I was like 6, so I barely remember it. But shit, they got the houses, the cars. She has her little law firm. I ain't gonna call it a little law firm because that's a major fucking accomplishment. But she got her law firm. He retired from the fucking He retired from the military. I think it was Air Force. Yeah, he retired Air Force and still does government projects. Like, he runs a project out in Virginia for whatever the Air Force, whatever the Navy base is out there, not the Air Force base, the Navy base. I forgot which one it is. The one in Hampton. But that makes me like, he runs his shit out there. But shit, again, they're not married in the sense that you would think. Like, but everything that they've done, they've gone through the proper channels to make sure everything flows the way it's supposed to go. She gets to make every single decision that, that would be important to make if he's not able to make it, and vice versa. If she's not able to make a decision, he gets to say so. Like, there's ways to do this shit. People just don't. People don't like doing the research. And the reason I call it the more perfect relationship is because they've never. I don't know what goes on behind their closed doors, but from what I've seen and from what I know, they neither one of them got no outside babies. Neither one of them ever cheated. There ain't been no domestic violence between them two. Like, their kids taken care of. Their kids never been in any type of trouble. I think one of them is getting ready to. 2 of them actually getting ready to retire from the military. One of them is in law school. They actually just had their 5th child last year. Like, that's the most perfect relationship. I don't even call it perfect. That's the best relationship I could think about. And they not even married. Like, in a traditional, I don't even call it a traditional sense, in the sense that most of us would think about. Christopher, you know the model.
Langley, that's the one. Daryl Langley. No, not is it Langley? No, Langley's the Air Force base. Which one is the Navy base?
Annapolis. Fair enough. Listen, Christopher,
I know somebody out there. They probably know. Efren, what's up?
I'm just gonna say, you know how like in the NFL, like you could be like a quarterback, and when you won the MVP 3 times and you won a Super Bowl, but what does the coach do to light a fire under you after your third MVP? They draft the quarterback to make you even work harder. People move on incentives. So I just think it's best to like always kind of keep the fire under somebody. Hey, yeah, he's paying 100%, but he can walk away at any time. Now you can renegotiate, or you gotta play by his rules. Simple as that.
I don't think. Oh Jesus, that's a
Come over
terrible.
to the dark side, Chris. Come
That
over to
is
the
a
dark side. Come on,
terrible. I
come
I
on, Chris. You
think
know
to
you
do.
like the dark side. You know you
I
like the dark
am
side.
not acknowledging that. I'm gonna keep it pushing.
Sure, you'll start thinking like me. Sure. Watch.
I don't know about that one. Let me quick reset. This is the BTSI show. I'm your host, Christopher J. We are broadcasting live from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Clubhouse. Thank you guys for tuning in. Title is Man Pays All the Bills, Bad Investment for Women. Now, with everything that I just heard, so I guess to the women who is in the room, those who are listening on replay, and those who's watching, when they bring up these 50-50 conversation, and I've been telling people I haven't heard, but only a handful of people actually have the right um, context when it comes to this conversation of 50-50, how it's not only about money, it's about everything else. So when it comes to this idea of someone using leverage in a predatory way, so if they have all say so, you have nothing at all. When someone introduced you the idea of 50-50, is that a much more attractive option now than letting someone pay 100% and that way you're trapped in the bind?
See, Christopher, they won't answer it.
It's not a bet, but it's not a bad idea if you think about it. Put foundation to the side because if you get with somebody with the right foundation, this is not an issue to worry about. However, do people listen to me? No, but I tend to be right at the end of the day. But let's entertain those who choose not to listen. If you're going to put up with somebody, if your desire is somebody that pays 100% of the bills, you have to take everything that comes with that. And if you're not ready to take all of that shit that really is built into it, are you willing to put something down just to have one hand on the steering wheel?
See, Christopher? See? Christopher, see what I'm talking about?
I'm chilling, just trying to listen to what y'all, what y'all opinions on it is. Chris, you can already probably guess my opinion on it, so I don't even really have to speak on it.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Matter of fact, that's intriguing. What you think? What you think my opinion on this is?
Boy.
What'd you say?
I said, go ahead. I'm talking to someone else.
So your take on this is probably going to be real simple regarding when it comes to if you was to personalize it, you will want to be in a relationship where you have full control, so that way no one can have one up over you, and no one's going to blindside you. So your objective is to make sure that you have 100% full control of your relationship, so that way you could then dictate the outcome.
Uh, I, I, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not paying all the bills, honestly.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying though. But
I do like
Why would you though? Why would you? Like, let's be honest here. Let's take the bullshit talking points of every married man should be paying 100% of the bills. We are in 2026, right? Let's take the bullshit narratives out of the equation that our grandfathers used to have to break their fucking backs and die in an early grave. Why would you want to, one, as a man, why would you want to, I don't want to necessarily say take on a lazy partner, right? Because I don't want to be that disingenuous to the conversation. Why would you, as a man, not want to have all the help you can get for the household to flourish? And as a woman, why would you not want to help the household flourish? Like, literally every statistical category tells you that households do better when it's when it's a dual person income. Every single statistic tells you this. So why are we not saying not you three? Because I agree with what you said. I'm not marrying nobody that don't plan on fucking working, right? But why do people get so? Why are they so dead set on going against the fucking numbers? The numbers literally tell you dual income households typically do better than single income households.
Hey,
That's in
fellas.
all aspects of the relationship. That's financially, it translates over to the children, it translates over to how the children are raised, it translates over to uh, 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 the happiness of everybody, because guess what? More income means, guess what? A little bit more freedom in the travel department, right? Two people working typically means, hey, we get to at least take a trip once or twice a year, an annual trip at that, right? This is things that people typically fight over, but because a lot of people are so conditioned to think, oh, the man is supposed to be the only one working and the woman is supposed to be just the stay at home and do whatever. I'm gonna let y'all know this right now. I didn't work all of COVID and the year after COVID, and I had a
Oh,
six.
Trey.
My son was 6 months old.
Hey, Trey,
Going
let me get
into
in here real quick. Fellas, take care of the room. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take care of something, but y'all run the room.
but yeah, my son was 6 months old. Going into, I had my son from the time he was 6 months old till he was 3 years old, and I didn't work for 2 of those years. And I tell you, that was the easiest shit ever. Like, not having to work was the easiest thing ever. My like the place ain't never, my house ain't never dirty, right? If my child does mess up some shit when he was a baby, it was nothing to pick it up and clean it up. But then once he got a little older, he started to understand, to put his own shit up where it goes. I really just don't see where a quote unquote housewife is that much fucking work, right? But you want the man to break his back every fucking day.
Bro, these conversations, it's not new. This shit is old, bro. They've been doing this shit since a while, bro. See, here's one of the perspectives is that the man just want full control over the woman, bro. She gonna have to do everything he tell her to do. She got to fully submit in a way that men deem as feminist, not feminism, as being to the man, because that allows her to rest in her true femininity by not working the jobs, then coming on home and continue to work at home by cooking, cleaning, and doing all that extra stuff. It takes a toll on them emotional as well when they're doing all the extra stuff compared to the man just working at home. Because when they're doing all that stuff and they emotionally drained or physically drained, bro, that's when you're going to start getting the pushback. That's when they're going to start cussing you out, talking about, no, you tell her to do something, she'll be like, no, you do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna seem like she got some nuts hanging down there and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why, bro. But in today's society, it doesn't. I hear them keep saying that bullshit, talking about, oh, the men need to pay 100% of the bills. But guess what? The women has fought to get these jobs and stuff, and claiming that it's not like how it was with their grandma and grandpa, where the women is just sitting there home doing all this shit. You have fought for this right to go ahead and work, and now you're gonna utilize that to your best ability. Yeah, make your money, statuses, you taking position in the corporate businesses and all these other things, and got your own CEO businesses and shit. But all of a sudden, you tell me you want to sit back and let the man do everything instead of expressing and fully taking advantage of the rights that your sisters, your auntie, and them fought in order to get, so y'all can take advantage of? I don't think so, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't let that pink pill and all the other bullshit fool y'all, man. They talking about they really want to stay at home and not do shit, but they still want to take advantage of the rights that's been allotted to them about making these money and all that shit, so you can have some little bit of hair on their chest as well. So it is what it is, though.
See, the major issue I have with what you said is not with what you said, it's with people that think like you, because I know you disagree with it. historically speaking, and we all black in here, so I'm going to speak to the black community. Historically speaking, black women were never afforded the luxury, quote unquote, to just stay at home while married. 60 to 70% of black women that were married had a job, and this goes back to as far as the 60s and the 50s. Whether they were housekeepers, nurses, teachers, they had a job, some sort of income. Most of them were maids and housekeepers. Most of them were that. Few of them were teachers. A lot of them were nurses. A lot of them were, I want to call them public servants. Well, yeah, let's say that public assistance figures, right? A lot of them were that. But somehow in 2026, people think that traditionally speaking, black women, because again, we're all black in here, so let's only speak to the black community. We think that black women traditionally stayed at home barefoot and pregnant. Like, no, that wasn't the case. Y'all grandmas worked. Y'all granddaddies worked. You know? When your granddaddy came home, when your granddaddy came home Friday, he gave your grandma and your great grandma. Them niggas, they gave their checks to their wife, and their wife handled all the bills and shit. And that nigga went to the refrigerator, grabbed a beer, and was a lazy, and was, I ain't gonna call him lazy because the nigga he worked. But at home, the nigga was very uninvolved. All he had to do is raise his voice a couple of times. So if you really want to go back to the traditional sense of how the black household or the black nuclear family was raised, guess what? You're gonna have to get a job. You're gonna be the one taking care of the vast majority of the housework. And that man, as long as he got a full-time job, hey, guess what? He gonna do the same. He get to do the same shit he can do the same thing your granddaddy and your great granddaddy did. Yeah, that shit. Just go to work, come home, sit on the couch, and then wait till dinner done.
Yeah, but you see, when you speak about those talking points, bro, if you have women in here, that's when the shaming tactics come in. Are you talking about, oh, you got to get a job and work because y'all lazy ass niggas, I can't do nothing. I can't get high paid wages to afford your women to stay at home and be in their true femininity, but turn around and complain when they give you pushback. You see, now you can't win on either side, bro. No matter what you say, makes sense or whatever, bro. It's always going to be some kind of caveat. Just try to doing good. And when you are doing good and you are taking control of the household and shit like that, that's a nice thing. You're not going to win on either side, man. I heard all this shit before, bro. Good talk.
I also find it funny that nobody grandma worked. When you had these conversations with a lot of women, apparently nobody grandma worked. Everybody grandma was at home barefoot and pregnant. Nobody grandma had a job. Nobody grandma was cleaning houses. Nobody grandma was any of these things. Everybody grandma was just at home barefoot and pregnant, doing laundry, watching the kids. All right, y'all, I'm back. My apologies to An and Minnie. I'll just have to step away, but I'm back now. So, welcome. How you guys doing? You off mic? Minnie, you there? Okay, I think he's having an audio problem. Trey, can you hear me? Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Okay, I think I just had some audio issues. He'll be right back. And I forgot to drop the link on YouTube right now, and Twitch and Facebook. Oops. I don't know if that was the right link. Let's try that again. Oh, update the app because they got a new update. Just in case if that's what it is, because I had to do that this morning and my audio started working. So update your app and it should be working fine. But
Still can't hear you. We still can't hear you, man.
Yeah, I think An needs to update the app. That's what it is. He needs to update the app. Yeah, let me go ahead and pin this link to the top. All right.
One thing that I do know, my uncle that we would start giving a financial literacy class. What literacy class when you come up with, because we start talking about investment or any of this shit, anything they got to do with money, get fast.
Oh no, there was ever I have zero. I could chime in on any topic he wants to. I'm all good with it. Hey, Ani, you can pull up, sweetheart. It's a safe room, I promise. But yeah, I would definitely like to hear his take on this topic. Let me do a quick reset. BTSI show. I'm your host, Christopher J. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Clubhouse. Please like, share, subscribe. And also on the YouTube side, just a reminder, we are 8 subscribers away from 1,000. Once we reach that goal, we can finally do this Cash App giveaway episode. Are you there?
Damn, I had to restart my motherfucking phone. Shit.
Yep, there you go. We're good now. So, the title, Men Pay All the Bills. Is this a bad investment for women? Because we don't have to go far. We can go back to last week, Thursday, because this is part 2 of Thursday's room. Harriet told us an incident where she had a dude where he said, I'm gonna need you to do this for me, and I'm also need you not to do this for me. Like, I don't want to hear nothing about your past relationships. I don't want to hear nothing about your exes, and you need to be there for me emotionally, spiritually, et cetera, et cetera. She did all of that. But guess what? A relationship is a two-way street because a woman needs all of that as well. His response is, I pay all the bills, so I don't have to hear all that from you. So with that being said, if this is what paying all the bills look like, is this a bad investment for women? Especially given how they were voiceless about the idea of not paying 50-50. Well, at least 50-50, you have your hands on the wheel. If you don't pay anything, you have no hands on the wheel, and you're gonna be put in a situation where this is a one-sided relationship. Is this what you want to be in as a woman? It's totally up to you. I'm just highlighting each options, the outcomes that comes from it, and now go back and rethink some of your past conversations that you had on these platforms and ask yourself, now that you have full context, do you still believe in what you stated previously?
Well, I'll come at it. I guess I'll probably end up being an oddball. Watch how many people come into space and if they're not insular, they're definitely gonna be financially illiterate. In this conversation, they're gonna try to say it's more than just money and blah blah blah. They're gonna say all that shit. I'm getting this out the way. Mark my words. Okay. Now, it is a bad investment for the woman. It is a bad investment for the male. It is a bad investment for the home, for one income to in this economy where the spending power is decreased. Somebody got hot mic. Where the spending power is decreasing on a monthly basis, damn near daily. It is a horrible. Hey, Chris, you got a hot mic.
Oh, I had to keep my mic on because.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's a bad investment for that very reason. You can't. As soon as they say, "When my parents raised me, when my grandparents," that economy don't exist no more, right? They have more spending power back then than they do now. You can here's a reference: CPI inflation calculator. You can put the decade they talking about, the year they talking about, and put it first in the first box, and then put in this box, or no, put 2026, put 100,000 or 50,000, and then put the year that they talking about, the decade they talking about, and you're gonna see how much less spending power you have today versus then, right? See, I know Negroes hate numbers, I know, right? But mark my words, a man or a woman are both gonna come in this motherfucker and try to take it off the math and be insular. Okay. Now, if here's another reason why I said it. If Candy is my wife and it don't matter who make more. She makes 70, I make 50. The household makes 120,000. You budget off who makes the least. So in this case, let's say it's 70% of 50,000. That's 35,000 a year. That means expenses do not exceed $35,000. 35,000 divided by 120,000 takes that 70% to 29%, meaning the bills of the household compared to 120,000 versus 50,000 is 29%. That means her and I can go 8 or 9 months where nobody has to pay a bill. So we would set up our checking accounts this way. We'll put all the money in the first 3 or 4 months. We'll put each bill times 2 or 3, or 3 or 4, put into this account, right? By the time we get to the third, fourth month, the money is set aside for the rest of the year. That frees up the incoming paychecks for 8 to 9 months. Now go invest. Now go take your trips. Before we leave, we don't have any bills to pay before we come back. You see what I'm saying? If I'm with a woman who has a problem with that, it's you on your own. You're a liability in my motherfucking home, as far as I'm concerned, right? If she try to counter me with sole provider shit when my parents did this, that, and I present this shit to her on a spreadsheet, and she talks about how I feel, she talks about what her parents did in another fucking economy, she's telling me she's not my type. We're done.
I have no problem with that.
Come here.
And also, shout out to Cowboy on YouTube. I know people from Clubhouse remember Cowboy from back in the day.
Serious right now. When people come in here and they don't want to have that serious conversation, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have my mic muted. My bad. Shout out to Cowboy. I know people from Clubhouse remember Cowboy from back in the day. He says this plays on the idea that men with money are inherently evil. I think he's actually referring to the title, now that I think about it. But given what An just presented to the conversation, that formula will work. Because, like, especially in 2026. So I want to make sure I heard him correctly, because I heard him say this before. Every now and then I try to re-articulate what he said. Because hold on, let me type this real quick in the back. Let's see. And okay, there. Got. I just my bad. I just sent out that message. So the solution or the question that An was giving, he answered the title. It is a bad investment for women, but it's more so on the financial side. And when you're talking about a household, there is an equation on how to do that and how to what up, G Swag, how to get to where this benefits both households. Now, An is also talking about you going 8 to 9 months, not paying bills a year because you took care of the first 3 or 4 months took care of itself. And if y'all caught what he said, if you're budgeting out the person that makes the least, and you're going off of 70% of their income, that being your house.
70% makes the least. 70% who makes the least.
Yeah, 70% of the person that makes the least. If your bills are surrounded by that 70% of the person that makes the least, then yeah, that will make a lot of sense. To where that's how you get to the idea of going 8 to 9 months a year not paying the bill. So yeah, that does help. That will work out. That will work out financially. So I appreciate that.
That's the main situation. So I'm gonna be serious now, and then I'm gonna fall back if people don't want to be serious. You know what I'm saying? But if you just did the math, if everybody just did the math themselves regarding the title, it's not beneficial to live off one income. Even if she has her own income and she makes more than you or whoever makes more, right? You're not gonna maximize what the household can keep going off what the household makes. And that removes, well, I'm the breadwinner, you need to follow me. She can't throw in your face she make more money than you because she don't make more than the household. And then if you're the man coming up with this idea, you're still paying your bills every month. This way, neither one of us is paying our bills every month. Look how much more money we have to invest. Look how much we don't have. Okay, we can take a trip in August because we've made up for the money we pay in taxes by our gains off our investments. So now, before we go take this trip, even with our investments, we make up for the money we spend on our trip. You see what I'm saying? Because we've maximized every 401ks, our pension, we're able to maximize that type of shit, right? And then we have a little bit extra left over to do mutual funds, Roth IRAs, and so on and so forth, life insurance policies and stuff like that, right? Now, if we take a trip, we don't have a bill due before we leave. We're less likely to have a bill due when we come back. plus our investments is outpacing the interest rates on our debt and on the amount of money we're paying in taxes. That's a win-win to me.
Right. No, I would say so. Um, on we got Cowboy on my YouTube stage on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Cowboy, what's up, man?
Oh, what's up? What's up?
Chilling, chilling, man. What you got for the title?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm 100% correct. You know, but the way the title is running is like suddenly these women are in danger if a man, you know, is the one paying all the bills, and that's like a feminist mindset that's come about as of late. You know, where don't ever let a man be in charge of anything, which is kind of an oxymoron because they want us to, they want us to lead, but then they don't want us to lead. They want us to pay the bills, but that, you know what I'm saying? So the whole lack of trust thing, it just doesn't work. It's never going to work. That just doesn't work in any kind of relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, business relationship, however. Now I understand not putting all your eggs in one basket. You need a backup plan. The way explains a lot of this stuff, that there's backup plans built in, and that so you're gonna have to depend on each other one way or another. But just the way the title's written is just like, the whole girl, don't rely on him. You need an exit strategy, and I it's not just an American thing. I'm noticing this kind of mindset in other countries also with women, China being a whole big deal with the whole bride price and all that stuff. These women actually have men giving them money ahead of time just so they could stack it so that they can leave anytime they feel like it. So it's kind of becoming a worldwide, a modern, you know, relationship problem. When I'm looking at it.
So nothing wrong with what you're saying, because also one thing I stated earlier, if we're talking about two people who are having the same foundation coming together, this is a non-conversation, obviously. So it don't matter who pays all the bills, who pays the bills. Would it be 50-50, 70-30, 60-40, or 100-0? Doesn't matter. You guys got the same foundation. No one's gonna misuse anybody. You don't have to worry about no radical feminist talking points with what a cowboy is alluding to. So and also given that it's a radical feminist cowboy, that's why those are one of the extremes, because I don't think you know who Harriet is anyway, but it will Thursday brought to our attention that she was in a relationship where a man paid 100% of bill, and the sole purpose was for her to cater or acquiesce to him, and this not be a two-way street when it comes to a relationship, which might play a part to why Harriet is who she is today, but we still love her. So given what we was talking about last week, Cowboy, last week Thursday, about 100%, if you pay 100%, you get cheated on the most. Granted, that's not accurate because we was able to debunk that. To if you pay at least 70%, you're gonna get cheated on, and it varies between genders. Now we're in the state where you pay all the bills. Is this a benefit to you because you have essentially you have no hands on the wheel? And if that's the case, was the idea about paying 50-50 or utilizing the formula that Unjust presented, what's wrong with going down that road? And also keep in mind, this 100% bills being paid is technically a new concept. I forgot how old it is, but it ain't been around that long.
What? Wait a minute. See, I missed the. So you guys had a show with the idea that depending on how much a man supports the household, it actually affects how he's getting whether he's cheated on or not. Am I was I
What
hearing
the
that right?
I got you. The study showed that whoever pays 70% of the bills, at least 70%, they tend to get cheated on more times than not. If a man pays 100% of the bills, women cheat 5% more. If women pay all the bills, men cheat 15% more. But those are just numbers at the end of the day. We later got into the actual foundation of it doesn't really matter how much money someone pays.
Yo, dude,
There's something internal going on.
I'm rolling over here.
What you mean?
Yo, you guys run around like, yo, if I pay all the bills, she gonna cheat. Well, when they talk like elders talk about idle hands, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's kind of funny because I always had this mindset that women should work even if the income's not necessary, just to keep her busy. My mindset wasn't that she would be cheating, but she might think that you're cheating. You're working late, this, that, and the third, and then now she doesn't have anything to do except for her imagination to run. And so I was like, if she's busy with projects and stuff, she doesn't have time to necessarily worry about you getting home late. She got to worry about getting home herself, right? Or getting off the computer or whatever she's doing. So, but if the data is showing that if someone is supporting the household more, and now you're giving free time to another person, listen, that's crazy. Like, oh, what am I going to do with all this free time? I only had a half day. Let me go see if I can find someone else to play around with. That mindset is crazy to me, And so I don't know, if you're with a cheater, you're with a cheater. I mean, there's the people who cheat because that's what they do, and then there's the people who cheat out of opportunity. Men in general are opportunistic cheaters. Because women just don't approach. So when they do, it's like, oh my God, and then we have to, it's harder for us to say no. Women go through life saying no, so it's easier for them. But yeah, that's interesting that somebody thought enough about that to study it, but it's funny to me. So now that everyone's going to be afraid of supporting the next person because they're going to think that they're going to cheat when they support them.
Well,
I mean,
has that not been the idea? Well, at least one of the minimum foundations of the 50-50 conversation. Granted, some dudes are having this conversation because they can't afford to pay all the bills. I'm aware of those guys. And also, you already know my idea of the real idea of 50-50 has nothing to do with finances. But if I was to entertain it, I would say this also plays a part. It's like, I'm doing all of this for you, and what am I getting in return? So if I'm going to partake in this relationship, I better not take a total loss. Like, you're going to have to chip in and do something else in this relationship. Now, granted, they step on their own point when they say, I'm going to need you to do all the housework. And on top of all the things you're supposed to do, you need to also put in a half while essentially my life stays the same. That's where the points usually fall apart. But prior to that, they want to, just so it hurts less, you gotta put some money in.
I mean, somebody should be putting money away. If she's working and I'm working, and and I'm paying 100% of the bills, then she should be stacking money, not spending it. You know, and that's vice versa. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, if she was making enough to pay all the bills, and I'm working, you know, I shouldn't be out, buying rims and grills for my teeth, and like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's common sense, but it's not common sense to a lot of people. And a lot of people, what they do to really put them in the situations that they're in today, because there are couples out there where they're both making 100 grand a year and they're broke right now because something went wrong. A lot of people getting laid off and this, that, and the third. And
Right.
people wonder, well, how you broke. It's like, well, they just added their money together and said, oh, we have this buying power, so let's go get the that crappy ass expensive Maserati truck, and let's get this $500,000 house, even though it's not worth that because we're in Georgia, but they want to spend big, and play big. And it's like, that would be acceptable if the universe worked like that, where you're just always going to move up and you'll never move down. But that's not how life works. And so instead of budgeting off of one income, they budget off of both, and their debts become based on both. And financial institutions don't have a problem with, if you're married, to, to look at both the income. Oh, you guys got a lot of spending power there. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll give you the loan. You know what I'm saying? But just because they'll give it to you doesn't mean you should take it. But again, to me it's common sense, but to most people they just don't think that way.
No, they don't. And we heard what Un just said regarding how to properly handle your finances when you're in a relationship. So that way this could be mutually beneficial. And to do this, you're going and I hear Un say this word a lot. He's the only one that I hear say this word on the app, and that's both parties has to be interdependent on one another. So you're gonna have to rely on your significant other to play her position and vice versa. So that way, this could be, like I said, this could be a non-discussion later. The reason why it is a discussion, because people tend to say one thing, step on their own point, and butcher the next point, and now they looking like a fool at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think about my past relationship and everything, and I think about all the discussions I've had with women before and after that, and it just seems to be a control issue, you know. And so, if you're in this relationship and you're trying to compete for control over whatever, that's going to be a problem, you know. And like I said, like this is not just personal relationships, this is business relationships also. So if you have a business partner and you're competing, for control over the company, your company's going to fail. That's just a fact.
Right.
And so there just always seems to be like some kind of competition, when we talk about this money, instead of just coming at it from, Un is coming at it from a logical perspective. Like, this is the math. And you're not going to beat the math. 2 + 2 is 4. No matter where you go in the universe, it doesn't matter if you're counting dollars or if you're counting rocks. You understand what I'm saying? And so you're not going to beat that, but people will throw their feelings into it, and then they think that that's going to trump, the reality. Um, so I don't know where we go from here realistically, because trying to change the minds of grown folks, that's not something I specialize in. I think it's something that you got to kind of start with the children, and once the children are built up to think about money a certain way, then you're off and running. But grown folks, I don't know, man.
And right there, see, Kyle, and I'm glad you said that. We're gonna give it back to the Clubhouse stage because Cash just pulled up. See, this is why, although the 20-year-olds and up, between the ages of 21 and honestly 20 and 25, they get on my damn nerves. 26, 27, 26 through 29, they shaking off some of that young stupidity. The reason why, as much as I would like for them not to be part of the conversation, I have to, because I agree. Some adults are too far gone. And quite frankly, I need an example of what failures look like so I could point them out to my son and be like, this is exactly what happens when you don't listen to daddy. You're going to end up like one of them. So one thing I think the ages between 20 and 30, I don't what's what I'm looking for? Not skate.
If you're looking for a failure, to point at, I wouldn't just point at it, but I'd have the conversations. It's within the job.
It's always conversations.
There's always the homeless people, but you never know what you get with them. But
right,
it's the Walmart greeters. It's sometimes the older gentleman that's doing regular security. If you have, and that's why I learned a lot. Yeah, I would, when I used to do security when I got out of high school, and see all these older guys, and I would hear these stories about, yeah, man, I had this opportunity and I messed it up, and they would tell these stories, So that's how I know, like, that's where you're going to. It's the older working class, the elders that are still working. They're going to be the ones to tell you the stories where, hey, you're probably going to want to go left instead of right if you run into this situation.
Right, right. That's what I say. We have to listen. I always still listen to the elders to this day, and those are in their 20s still listens to me. So the word I was looking for is I just lost the word. Gatekeep. There you go. I don't gatekeep conversations of who needs to be in there. Granted, if you're a teenager, sorry, go find a 20-year old to listen to you. Yeah, you're not. There should be no reason why you're in the same conversations with me. We're not doing that. But for those between 20 and 30, I don't gatekeep the conversations. You can listen to what we're telling you and take the game, and you go feed that to your community and those younger than you, because they're going to be looking up to you. They're not necessarily going to be listening to me. So I do get your point when you were saying that, Cowboy. Appreciate it. Let's give it back to the clubhouse stage. Cass, how you doing, sweetheart? Oh, still moving buses, so I won't be able to. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm up in boxes. I'm on the floor.
It's all good. Cass is kicking her man out the house. I understand. These things do happen. I understand. I'm just fucking with you guys. Please, no evil back chats. Thank you. Um, but yeah, I appreciate what you guys said because oh yeah, I was going to I meant to tell you them conversations that you and I partake in outside of this room does not I don't allow that in this room. So trust me, this is a safe space for intellects, not stupid people. I tend to get them kicked out real quick. But but yeah, that is what I wanted to. I just wanted people when I was having these conversations, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Hefe, what's good, man? Yeah, ladies, when we having these conversations, I'm always what annoys me is people are looking at this from one perspective, and it's usually the safest way to look at it is especially when the masses are choosing to articulate from this point. Granted, I call them a bunch of restarts. And for those who don't know, when I say restarts, that's a substitution word for the other R word I'm trying not to say. When it comes to YouTube and Clubhouse, there's a bunch of restarts. And when it comes to this 100% of the bills being paid or 50% of the bills being paid is always being generated by a couple of restarts who don't know what the hell they're talking about, who don't know how finances work. Quite frankly, they don't even know how the idea of foundation works. Because you get that part taken care of, you're not gonna have a problem in any relationship. But yeah, what do I know? Just a poor black man from Houston who don't know any better. Hefe, what's good, man?
What's good, man? Peace to the room.
Chilling, man. So the topic is man pays all the bills. Is this a bad investment for a woman? What is your take on it before we go to last call?
Uh, Without any context, I mean, man pays all the bills. Bad investment for women. I mean, I guess it depends. On one hand, you got somebody taking care of all the essential bills. You can kind of live, what some would call like a soft life. But I think on the negative side of that coin is, um, there could be the tendency for some men to use that as leverage to control you, to kind of, you know, get you to do what they want you to do based off the fact that they're paying all the bills, and they could turn that faucet off at any time. So that's my initial thoughts on it.
Mhm. All right, I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Hefe, because one of the things that we submitted in the conversation, what started out the conversation was a man that pays all the bills has 100% say so, and that leverage can be used against a woman, and standpoint to where it's just a one-sided relationship where she has no say so. She's just acquiescing to his needs, which can lead to something being predatory, which also opens up the idea. The 50-50 idea can be a bad idea because at least you have a say so in the matter. But I was able to give us a actual plan or budgeting plan that will work, whether you're in a relationship or not. But it's going to be better when it's a relationship because that's less stress or no stress at all, in my opinion. He said, "Here we go with the nonsense, cowboy. Really, ain't no nonsense, I promise." But I appreciate that, y'all. I really do. And y'all, that was man pay all the bills. Is that a bad investment for the women? I think we all could come to the conclusion it can be a bad investment for a woman, but there is a way for her to navigate this and to where it's a two-way street. Now the playing field is now even. So, quite frankly, if you had the financial literacy, you'll never be in a bad situation, let alone a bad relationship. So, shout out to you guys. Now, one more thing before we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be too transparent because of the parties involved, but I will say this. You guys, normally I have a hashtag. Where is it at? Hashtag Chris is always right is because for the hey, it is what it is. Um, I always tell people there's a problem. You have to keep me in the loop, especially coming to ask for my help. You need to keep me in the loop. You don't go around living life or doing whatever you want to do, especially you didn't thought this plan all the way out. You didn't think this plan all the way out, and it blows up in your face. Or the lingering aspect can be harmful or dangerous, literally and figuratively. And then you're coming to me to fix the problem. And now you're coming to me with information about the problem. These are partial information. You're not telling me the whole everything. Because when it comes to a problem, I need to know everything that's going on so I can devise the right plan and make sure the right outcome comes from it. Somebody needed help with their child. What up, Lyrical? Somebody needed help with their child. Excuse me. They left out some key information that would have been very beneficial to me as far as having a solution. Let's just say this particular child needs x-rays now. This particular child needs to be on a particular medication. Now, I told this person, you might want to consider making sure this person stay on that medication since it's just allergy medicine, just to make sure that this won't be a problem later. And shout out to black people. Y'all know how y'all are about doctors and prescribing medication and that type of stuff. And I get it. This is why me personally, when it comes to getting receiving any medication, I always ask the doctor, what are the side effects? What are the outcomes? I want to know everything before we walk out this hospital. I get all the information, and I'll go as far as to quickly do a research on, all right, what's the name of this medication? Boom, what is this? So that way I'm clear. And 10 times out of 10, I personally have never took a medication where the side effects has put me in harm's way. So when I'm telling my friend, like when it comes to your child, you might want to make sure they stay with the allergies because my son has allergies. My allergies come and go. It ain't really that big of a deal. But I told this person, you may want to make sure they stay on that children's Zyrtex. or whatever medication they have to so they can be ready. This person, this person's child got an ear infection. It happens. And when it comes to this child's ear infection, although the problem is solved, the flare ups in the nose is bad. And they said all of this could have been avoided had you just took your allergy medicine. For last call, I want to tell people this: your pride is going to get you killed. Your ignorance and your pride, which is a deadly conversation, is going to get you killed. When people are smarter than me, I shut up and listen. When it comes to what young men, especially men, is going on in this country, I listen to Moa. When it comes to the finances, I listen to Unapologetic. When it comes to um, being a black man going through this journey, especially battling a couple of personal issues, I listen to my guy Cowboy. I always humble myself and I say there are people who are smarter than me, who knows what's going on, and I'm going to shut up and listen. I'm never too prideful to say I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Now your results has been all the way off consecutively. That's something. The three names I just mentioned, that doesn't apply to them. So I'm always willing to listen. Those who are older than me, those who are younger than me. So when it comes to stuff like this pertaining to especially pertaining to your kids, us parents, we know what we're talking about more times than not. And you had the temerity, don't mitigate law to still do your own thing, but then come ask for help when the results are a lot worse than what preceded what it was originally. You're going to have to let this pride of yours go. It's one thing if it's just you. The only person that's going to be affected is you, whatever. When there's other people involved and you're still holding on to your pride and you're still holding on to your stupidity, that's not fair to the people behind you. That is not fair at all, especially when children are involved. Now, this person's child, I'm not going to say they're in more danger or harm than it was before because it's just pertaining to allergies. I'm not, I leave that part alone because we're going to just pray that everything works out how it's supposed to work out. The medication is taken, and this could be a thing in the past. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the idea of your pride, your ignorance, these are deadly conversations, especially when you ask stupidity. Put your pride to the side and make the right decisions for you and those involved. And that was last call, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this moment to thank everybody who tuned in today. I greatly appreciate it. Clubhouse, any final words? Cowboy, any final words?
Um, yeah, again, like and I think I explained a lot of this stuff already, but the idea that a man, you know, paying all the bills suddenly just throws this woman into this horrible position, is absurd. You know, it's built off this fear that that all men are inherently evil and they're all capable of some kind of evil and don't let them have any control. And so that's a failed relationship already. A woman going in thinking like that. When you're looking at finances, you want a backup plan. You want to know what's going on because there's plenty of elderly people that I've run into, both male and female, where one side didn't handle certain things and then the other one has passed away and now they don't know how to do anything. So when a man is a widower, but he let his wife manage the finances, he doesn't know how to even pay his cable bill. You understand what I'm saying? He doesn't know what's
Mhm.
going on. She took care of all that. So there has to be communication, and these are obviously they're much older than us, they're, great grandparents and stuff. So they did things different back then. But, I learned from that where it's like there needs to be enough trust to communicate and make sure that, both sides knows what's going on, just in case one of you end up in a coma, you know what I'm saying? It's something weird, right? But
Right.
going into it with this idea, but a man paying all the bills can set him up for failure during the divorce. Because when she goes
Right.
into the courtroom and she says, I have been at the job force for, 5, 10 years,
Yep. That's
and
how
if you're in
alimony
a state where
starts.
there's
Yep.
alimony, then they're going, oh, yeah. Or spousal support, like, well, you gotta support her till she gets back on her feet. And it's just like, so it's like that's a double-edged sword. It doesn't just swing one way, but when people talk about it, they only talk about how women are affected because men are expendable, and you could do a show on that if you want. But yeah, men are expendable,
Men,
and that mindset
men are
leads
expendable.
to a lot of these thought processes.
I
You,
have
you,
heard
you
that
understand?
before. Now I do understand, man. I
That
do
that
understand.
that is worldwide. Like men are expendable, and so the people who are in charge, the wealthy, you know, even though they're men, you're still expendable. So you're expendable to women, and you're expendable to men. You're expendable to society. You know, so just bear that in mind.
Expendable. I can make the argument that it's trying to lead to a complete wipeout of existence, but that's just me in my mind. Maybe I'll explore that one day if there's any evidence to prove that, but that's just a thought. But I appreciate that, Cowboy.
I mean,
Um,
well, let me throw it to you like this: men have to be drafted. Women don't have to be
mhm.
drafted. Although women have a right to serve in any branch of the military that they want. They've even lowered the standards in this country, so that women can get in, but they can't be forced to go in. You see what I'm saying? The reason why it's okay for us to go out on the front lines and die, and it's not a horror story, is because of the mindset that we're expendable. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, look into it. But what you're going to find is even the way laws are applied. Man and woman commit the same crime. That woman gets less time than the man. You
Oh
see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, I'm on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm,
this is
I'm definitely on
this
that.
this this supports that. You see what I mean?
Gotcha. All right, bet. Appreciate that, man. Swan, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. You just came in at the end of the room, but I'll let you get your 2 cents in. Based off of the title, what do you think about that? Like, if a man pays all the bills, is that a bad investment for women?
If she's not being productive and getting money, yeah, I think uh, I think there should be a level of a woman contributing in some type of factor, even if it's just for a savings or a vacation fund or an emergency fund. If we're just talking finances, I think she would because something could happen to him. I mean, not saying he could leave you too, but what if he gets sick? What if he has a car accident? And so now, what are you gonna do? Who's gonna pay all the bills now? So I think it would be silly to put all of that on one person, one way or the other, personally.
Okay. Oh, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, shit, I agree with her. I was just gonna say, I'm just coming at it from an analytical position. In that inflation calculator, in the first box, I put this year. I'm going backwards. I put $100,000, and I went from 1980. So $100,000 today has the same spending power as $25,594. If I go back to 1990, $100,000 today has $40,597 spending power today. If I go back to 2000, $100,000 has a spending power of $53,487. If I go to 2010, 100,000 has the same spending power in 2010 as though it's 67,731. If I go back to 2020, 100,000 has $80,390,000 spending power.
Right.
And the average for Black men and women is between $45,000 and $52,000.
Well, yeah. And how much? And all that is due to, well, you can say inflation, but is there anything else that contributes to that?
Inflation, dilution of the dollar, with them printing out all that money. So CPI, which would be Consumer Price Index, and PPI, right? This is how you track it, right? So PPI is Producer Price Index. This is how they calculate their price for goods. Tariffs add to that, as in the rate of it going up. So it's a multitude of things, right? And an affordability issue right now. Your cost of living has damn near increased 100% or over 200% since 1980. The average age of a first-time homebuyer went from 31 years old in 2007 to now 40.
Mm.
And so to put that in context, in 1981 to 2007, you had to be 28. So as of in a shorter amount of time, the average age is older to buy the same thing. So that's how much faster your cost of living in one category, which is dwelling, has went the fuck up. And then the average age of cost of a car is now 50,000. You see what I'm saying? So everything is going up, but your wages has only increased 12% since 1970. So you mean to tell me we still supposed to be able to live off one income when we're making the average, which is around $50,000? That don't make sense.
Nope, doesn't make sense at all. Not even a little bit. All right, then. I appreciate that. I really do. And any final words? I know Erie came back in the room, but let me see if Erie has any final words, and we can go ahead and shut down. But yeah, with all of that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad we was able to debunk Thursday's conversation, the title of the room, and we was able to speak to this title of the room, adding multiple perspectives, especially coming at it from an analytical standpoint. So that way, everybody's going to be protected, regardless they're in a relationship or not. So that I greatly appreciate it. So we can go ahead and in the room, those on Facebook, I keep forgetting Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. On your way out, where are my stuff at? I gotta clean this shit up. Jesus Christ. You want more content like this? Like, subscribe, and share. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. And we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. We are 8 subscribers away. Then we can finally do this Cash App giveaway episode. 3 runner-ups, 1 grand prize winner. Soon as we get to 1,000, we're gonna give away money. And so people know, every 500 subscribers, we do Cash App giveaways. The first winner was Daryl Long on the YouTube side. Now let's see what happens now that we cross over, because I'm giving out more money than I did before. So let's see how that plays out. Ladies and gentlemen, Cowboy, you're my guy. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for pulling up. Clubhouse, shout out to Replay Game. Y'all.
No problem.
All right, my man. Clubhouse, I'll let you guys decide if you guys want to keep this room open or not, but if not, we're about to shut it down. Y'all can get back out there on those Clubhouse streets. But those out there, thank you guys for tuning in. BTSI show, Christopher J. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Y'all be good.
Like an extraterrestrial. Doctor? Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial. 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 Like I don't belong. Like an extraterrestrial. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Like I don't belong. I feel like I don't belong. Extraterrestrial.
It's a mess. But hey, don't even worry about it.